Hello, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today we are presenting webinar on Start Your Entrepreneurship Journey Today with Passion, which has been organized by Applied Science and Humanities Department of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. The main agenda of this webinar is to inspire the students to put passion in whatever they do in college studies, projects, and so on, as this will help them to build a strong character to excel in life. I, Vaishali Nathwani, would like to introduce today's guest speaker, Leena Ali, an entrepreneur, an artist, a living art studio. Leena Ali expresses her love of arts and creativity through oil on canvas and occasionally works with mediums such as acrylics and charcoal as well as digital arts. Each of her painting takes us to a deep emotional level and manifests an unspoken sensual beauty where fantasy and reality become one. She employs colors based on her intimate feelings of each individual artwork, inside of which every soft brushstrokes blends with each other as if they are an extension to one another. Through each carefully sized artwork, she brings along a journey with the stories she tells in them. She has created various artworks for many art lovers, including established corporations, self made millionaires, as well as politicians like Datuk Mas Samsudin, Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department in charge of Parliament and Law. Her painting is scheduled to be exhibited in New York at the end of the year. She has been a guest speaker at various events and spoke at Daniel Talson's masterclass, Australia's #1 business expert on emotional intelligence, and her story has also been shared in several publications such as the 28 Credentials of Entrepreneurs. It's a privilege to welcome you, ma'am.
Hi, thank you so
Hello.
much, Vaishali, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, thank
Yes.
you. Yes, and thank you for inviting me on this talk to share with with the students here. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes, you can start with the session, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this session with us. My name is Leena Ali, and as Mrs. Vaishali just said, that I am an entrepreneur as well as an artist. So I'll be talking about start your entrepreneurship today with passion. Now, before I jump into the topic, I would like to say that this topic is actually very close to my heart because it is what has helped me gotten through many many events in my life, and it is also what has led me to where I am today in my entrepreneurship journey as well as my career as an artist. So, what we're going to be discussing today is something that is very practical, and it can actually be easily applied by anyone, whether you're students or you're working, because I myself discovered it when I was just 16 years old, right? And it has helped me in my entrepreneurship journey all these years. So today I want to share with you the importance of starting your entrepreneurship journey with passion, as well as share with you some of my own real life experiences to give you as an example, because sometimes it's easier to understand something or understand how things works through real events. And then later, I'll also talk about how you yourself could apply it into your own life right now. Now, after listening to this session, you'll also be able to understand this concept a little bit better, and also how to apply it into anything that you do, be it your studies, your projects, your career later on, and so on, right? Or if you're doing business as well, that's really great. So, by doing so, by starting today, you will be able to see a big difference in terms of how you'll progress in life. So stay with me till the end, and after we reach the end of the talk, if there's some extra time, we can also do a little bit of Q&A, and I'd love to answer any questions that you might have for me on this topic. Okay, so let's get into it. Right now, to explain this concept that has helped me in my life, I need to let you know probably a little bit about my background first. So here's a little something about me. I didn't come from a wealthy family. We did not have a lot of money. We don't have any, connections. And I actually grew up witnessing my parents struggle to raise four children on their own. So at the age of 16, I took a part-time job, okay, where I worked in the daytime. I was schooling in the daytime, and then I worked at nighttime, as well as, on school holidays, I'll be working from 10 a.m. in the morning till 10 a.m. at night. And if the school holidays was 1 week, that's how long I will work. And I did that to help my support my family, as well as pay for my own school tuition fees. Then the following year, I had my big exams, right? And luckily for me, even though I was working, I still managed to get good grades. And I got an offer to study in the UK. But I turned it down for many reasons. And one of it is because I applied for something that I didn't really want to study. So my heart wasn't there, there's no passion there. So I turned it down, and because I turned down the offer, I later on had to work and put myself through college. Now, I had to pay for my own college tuition fee, and so my parents didn't have money, so I got a job. I worked daytime, and then at nighttime I took night classes, right? So I took studies in IT. I did programming actually, but if you ask me anything about programming, I wouldn't know except for maybe some HTML codes. So the job, that I was doing, it didn't pay a lot, right? And I ended up doing a small business to find some extra money to pay for my tuition fee at that time, my college fee. So, like I said, I never really liked programming, but I took it because it was the only thing that I could afford, and it was really near my office. But then after I graduated, I did have quite a bit of experience in sales because I was doing it when I was 16. And then when I did the small business, I gained a little bit more experience. And so after I graduated, I took jobs that were mainly related to sales and marketing. And that's what I did for the most part of my working life. But in my heart, okay, I always wanted to have my own business. So later on in life, I started doing my own business, and till today, I have run several businesses whereby I have made lots of money, but I have also lost lots of money before, and I have become very broke as well in the process before. So obviously, nobody likes losing money in business, right? Or in anything, nobody likes losing money. But if we look at life in a positive way, right? Whether things happen to us, whether it's good or it's bad, we always have something to learn from our experiences. And there is no such thing as failure unless we quit. Because when we quit, we've already failed. But if we continue our journey to find, uh, to reach our goal, to reach our dream, to find success, then we could never really fail in life because something will happen along the way. So, and going through a downfall in my business just a few years back, okay, it was a very big downfall. I lost everything I had, and but I could tell you that it was probably the best thing that happened to me, because I say this because that's when I started learning more about myself, about self awareness. And that's when I discovered that I had in me some self limiting beliefs that were stopping me from pursuing my dream, which was to become an artist. So you see, I could do all sorts of business, but I couldn't go for to become an artist, which was what I really wanted to do for so many years. Now, when we discover or when we learn something new in life, all right, we need to do some exercise, all right, not this exercise, but some exercise on ourselves. We need to work on ourselves in order to change the way we think, and the way we, our mindset and the way we do things before. So I took some time to work on myself and put things together. And then this year, I finally made the switch to pursue my long time dream to become an artist, where I have made several achievements in a very short time. Now, with all that I have experienced in life, the hardship, the rise and fall of the business, and the struggle to bring the business back up again, I can tell you that entrepreneurship knowledge and skills are really crucial to be successful for anyone in any industry, even for myself as an artist. Okay. And when I look back at all the things that I have gone through, I know that for a fact, right, that passion was the key component that kept me going on all these years, all this time, right? And it has been for many other successful entrepreneurs too. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And next, I want to talk about okay. Next, I want to talk about what we will be discussing today's session. You see, we often hear people talk about entrepreneurship, right? Okay, that it's good to learn about entrepreneurship, but how does learning about entrepreneurship really helps us in life? Like for you as students, how does it help you as a student? Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Next, I'll talk about why is passion important in anything that we do. So, what is the difference with starting to do things with passion anyway? So, here is where you'll understand the kind of results or outcome that you can achieve simply by adding passion to what you're doing today, all right? Starting today. And then I'll share with you how I discovered this fact, and also how can passion help you in your own life. Like as I mentioned before, passion is key. Is the key component that I use in my entrepreneurship journey, and so I'll share more about that so that you can understand it better too. And then I'll also tell you a little secret. How can all that happen to you? I mean, like, how can um, how can you achieve some great results just by adding passion into your own life, right? So that's very interesting. And another thing that we will talk about is something very important as well. That is how to feel passionate about what you do, because I think this is something that not many people really talk about, but it is extremely useful. Because you see, although doing passion brings us, uh, great results, we honestly can't be naturally passionate about everything, right? And then there's just some things that we really don't want to do and not passionate about it, but we still have to do it in order to achieve our goals. So this is where I will share with you the tricks that I use to add passion into anything that I do, even though for things that I'm not passionate about either. And yes, it can be done, and I have been practicing it for many years myself. Right, and of course, lastly, I will summarize all the things that we have discussed here today. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so how does learning about entrepreneurship help us in life? Well, basically, you have to realize this. When you learn about entrepreneurship, you are also training your mind to think as entrepreneurs, or how to have an entrepreneur mindset. And this will definitely help you build your character to become an entrepreneur as well, all right? And entrepreneurship knowledge and skills can be applied into many aspects of our lives. For example, all right, the more you learn about entrepreneurship, you could become more proactive, all right? And this could, probably help you step out of your comfort zone. For example, you might be willing to offer to lead a project where nobody else wants to, because entrepreneurship teaches us to lead and be more proactive in life. And then you might also become a more creative person, right? Whereby you'll have all sorts of these ideas that come into your mind when trying to, say, perform a task. And there's a very famous saying, right? I have to say that just one idea can make you a millionaire. Now, ideas are highly valuable to many organizations, and it is actually, a real asset. And then you could also become a great problem solver to, where you can think of many different ways to solve an issue. Everybody loves to be around people who can solve problems, right? And this is really a great quality for anyone to have. And when it comes to decision making, um, using your entrepreneurship knowledge and skills that you have learned, okay, that you have picked up from all, the sessions that you hear, from your school, from outside, you would probably be able to make better decisions that will actually benefit you in your own future as well. And then, of course, you would also stand out from the crowd. Now, this I find is very useful, especially in this day and age where it's very competitive for everyone. So it's very useful in terms of career, getting, past your interviews, getting career advancement, and obviously in businesses too, because, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you have to set yourself apart from the rest of the world, okay, the rest of the market. And that's really the only way to be really successful, because if you're just like everyone else, you won't be seen. So you need to stand up from the crowd. And like I said, it is good for business, for career, and for anything else that you're doing. So these are some of the benefits of learning about entrepreneurship, and it is extremely useful to have, right? So, okay, next we are gonna talk about, let me see. All right. So, next we are gonna talk about why is passion important to anything that we do actually. Well, honestly, there are just so many benefits to it, but I'll just mention a few three main points here, right? That I find which is like the main important things. Number one is we get results. Okay, now you see, when you are passionate about what you do, right? You'll not only want to complete you'll not only complete the task or project that you have in hand. You actually want to do it, right? You'll actually want to give your best into it. You want to produce the best result, and because of that, because you put your heart and soul into it, your passion into doing something, you will actually come up with the best quality results as well. It's just as simple as that. You do your best, you will come up with the best, right? And then number two is that you'll also get recognition and acknowledgement from other people. Now, this is maybe something that you're not looking for, because not everyone wants to, be highlighted and get, recognition and stuff like that. Some people like to be at the back end. That was me, before. Okay, but let me tell you this: nothing really goes unnoticed. Okay, let's say even you did a really great thesis or a really great project in the college, and then you did it with passion, right? You gave it all you have, and that usually goes it usually gets noticed by someone. Maybe it's your lecturer, maybe it's your classmates, maybe it's even from someone outside the school. So you'll never know, right? And you'll never know who is gonna see and recognize what you can actually produce. All right, so the third one, all right, which comes in very handy for a lot of people, um, it makes difficult task becomes easier to do and to complete. Okay, I can relate to this very well. You see, as an artist, I like to paint, right? And but I really don't like cleaning the brushes, okay, because I do oil paints a lot, and cleaning the brushes, it takes hours, and it's really really boring. Okay, but because I know cleaning the brushes will let me to have the time, or will help me get to my next painting, to do my next painting. So this is where the difficult task of cleaning the brushes automatically becomes easier for me too. And like I said, this is a very useful thing to get any task, especially the ones that we don't like. It gets just done, right? Okay, so next is how did I discover this fact? Like why passion? How did I discover it? Okay, let me tell you the story of the valuable lesson that I learned when I started working at the age of 16 as a part-time promoter, sales promoter, after school hours to help support my family. You see, I can't say that that job was really that great. Okay, it's okay, but it's not really that great. We had to stand long hours. We're not allowed to sit down. It was very tiring and all that. But you know, I went to school in the daytime, nighttime. I was working 10 to 10 p.m. and all that, tiring. Pay wasn't great, and all that. So hang on. And but here's the thing, I have something, and a lot of part-timers at that time, right? I still remember they didn't care much about their jobs, right? Because we get paid by the hour, so why should we care how well we do, you know? But that's one thing, one thought that was inside of me at that time. I remember when I went to the malls, sometimes I come across sales promoters which really gave me bad experience. They would have this sulky face, or unhappy face, or angry face when a customer walks in, and that made me feel like you don't want me to be there. And so I wanted to give a good experience to people who came over to where I was working. All right, that was honestly the only thing I wanted to do. I was passionate to serve people the best I can. That's it. But because of my passion to do the best in my job, okay, here's what happened later. The sales went up, right? Okay. When the sales goes up, it meant that I had built my own sales skills, right? And I had actually become good at selling, right? And with no prior training or anything like that. And then I had customers who came directly to me and said to me that they appreciated the way I treated them. And because of that, they actually only want to buy one item, but they ended up buying more because they just like the way I treat them, or they like the way I spoke to them and all that. And this actually made me feel good about myself and the job that I was doing, which is not a great job, but I was happy doing it because I felt appreciated. And you can say because of that I also got a little bit popular, because I was good at sales, and I was I was making good sales for the company, and other companies, they came and approached me and said, oh, would you like to work for us instead? Now, when that happened, in the end, I went with the company who, was able to gave me the highest salary, obviously, right? And I became the highest paid promoter at that time. So obviously, this meant that I was making more money, working in the same hours, but that extra income, that really helped me a lot in my life, right? And that's what I learned about passion at the age of 16. And that's also how I know that I carried, and how I applied passion throughout my entrepreneurship journey later on. And that actually opened up a lot of opportunities in my life, which I will share with you a little bit more as well. Okay, so okay, next let's talk about, okay, okay, how can passion help you in your life? All right, now, like I mentioned, that's how it has helped me. But basically, how it can help me is this: you will feel good about what you do, right? When you feel good about doing something, anything, you won't stress about it, even though you have a tight deadline, okay? But you won't stress about it. Instead, you'll be happy to do it, and you will want to do it because you're happy, right? So next is, you get sought after by companies or clients, and you probably get a higher salary, a higher pay, or a higher fees as well, because this is what I experienced when I was 16, and even later on in life. So for this works for people who are working. All right, you might get career advancement, you might get, higher pay, increments, and all that. And obviously, it works well for entrepreneurs too. You see, companies would definitely want to deal with you, or do business with you, because passionate people brings results. Okay, it's just as simple as that. Passionate people brings results. And then next is, you might get offers from investors. Don't be surprised about it, because this is really true, and I'm mentioning this here because it has happened to me more than once, right? People have come to me and offered to partner with me or invest in a business with me. And actually, just last year, okay, a multi-millionaire investor offered to invest in my previous business, which I had, which is a digital business. He offered to invest in that business, right, with me. Now, although I had to say no, because I decided to pursue my career instead in arts. Nevertheless, this is a possibility that could actually happen to you someday. So, don't be surprised about it. Maybe someday somebody might come to you and say, hey, I want to invest in you because I think you are good. And at the back end, it's because you are passionate about what you're doing. So yeah, so that is really fun when somebody offers you, like, money here, let me give you the money to invest, right? Okay, so next, we have win trust easily. All right, now, when you talk and do things with passion, all right, it will be so much easier for you to win people's trust. Now, trust is not easily gained, let me tell you that. But this is really really useful when you're promoting your products, or you're closing a deal, or even, maybe winning a pitch. Passion is what will set you apart from other people, right? And of course, you will see many opportunities open up for you as well, and you might see results in your business much, much faster too. I would say that's how, in less than a year of becoming an artist myself, being in the arts industry, which was really new to me. I didn't know anyone. I had no connections and all that. I still managed to get the opportunity to create paintings for politicians, multimillionaires, and international corporations, as well as doing a collaboration project just recently, right now, currently, with an established corporation for my recent book launch, right? And I tell people it is possible for me, right? For someone like me, for someone normal, okay, I would say I'm a normal person, for someone like me to achieve all this. And so it must be possible for you too, right? There is no reason that it's not. Okay, so next I want to share with you the secret why all this, right? Okay, how can all that happen to you too? It's actually really 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 very simple. It's because other people can see sense and feel if you're passionate about what you do too. So never think that you're just a student, you're just a worker, or you're just doing some small business. Um, someone is always watching what we do, okay? And opportunities, they can come knocking at our door at any time. And if you use the learnings in today's session, right, you'll be prepared for it. You'll be much more prepared for it. So the thing that I learned, all right, from my mentors, from other entrepreneurs, is sometimes that opportunities are there, they come to us, but because we are not prepared for it, and then we reject it, either you realize it or not, that could have happened to you in your life before. So being prepared is really important. So if you start this journey today by putting passion into what you do, into your studies, it's as simple as that. Just like even your studies, you will be more prepared. If somebody comes up to you and gives you an opportunity, you'll know what to do next, right? So basically, that is the secret. Just start your journey with passion and start it today. All right, don't wait, start it today, because it takes time to put things into place, to practice it, and to embed it into our subconscious mind, and have it just be on point all the time, right? Okay, so next, let me see. Next is, all right, we're gonna talk about, okay, like I said, now that you can see the value into um, starting our entrepreneurship journey with passion. Uh, okay, next is, all right, how do we feel passionate about what we do, right? Okay, this is not an easy thing, because we can't be passionate about everything, as I have mentioned before. It's really hard. There will be things that we like to do, but there will be a lot of things that we don't like. In my business, I mentioned earlier, I like doing the paintings, I like creating the artworks. I don't like cleaning the brushes. I sometimes I don't like having to do the marketing side. Sometimes it's like it's there's too much work. So there will be things that we don't like to do as well. But so this is why this is a very important exercise, because there is no point knowing to the all the benefits of starting your journey with passion, but still not knowing how to actually add passion into the things that we do, right? So now there is, like I said, there is this thing called a natural passion that we have inside us. Like for me as an artist, my passion is painting and doing artworks, right? For some of you, maybe it's, I don't know, mechanical stuff, or making electronic works, robotics or something, or even cars, right? I know a lot of people like cars. Now this is a passion that comes naturally to us, and so we don't really need much motivation to work with these things. We naturally, like, okay, wake up, that's what we want to do, so that's fine. But like I said, there are other things that we have to do to achieve our goals that we might not be so passionate about, or we have no passion at all for. And for this, we need to inject some passion into it, right? So here's a few tricks that you can use. Number one is, ask yourself why you want or need to do it. Okay. I'll repeat that again. Ask yourself why you want or need to do it. Okay. For example, say I don't like reading books, but I need to do it. I'll then ask myself, why do I need to do it? Now, the first time I might answer to myself, well, because I need to pass my exams, right? And then I'll ask the same question again. So the second time, you need to come up with a different answer, okay, for the second time. I might answer because I need to get a better job later on. Well, that's true, right? You study, you pass your exams, you need to get a better job or something like that. And then after the third time or the fourth time or the fifth time of asking myself the same question, I might come up with an answer that sounds like this instead. I want to make my parents proud of me. Now, when you get to this level, when you find the real answer why you need to do something, like in this case, right? Let me put it in a sentence. I need to read books so that in the end, what I want is I want to make my parents proud of me. Okay. It just means that that's what's really important to you. Okay. Making your parents proud. And that's how you can inject passion into reading books, because by reminding yourself all the time, this is why you're doing it. You don't like doing it, you don't like to read books. Now I don't like to read books, let's say, right? But I want to do it because I want to make my parents proud. That is a very powerful thing that you can use. And when you remind yourself all the time, you will be passionate about reading books. Trust me about that. Okay, I practice that in the work that I do. Right? And next is care about what you do. Now, it's just like when I told you the story of me working at 16. It wasn't the greatest job, but I cared about my role, which is providing the best customer service that I can to the customers, right? And because I care about what I do, I did a good job, and that gave me many advantages later on. So then you might say to me, what if I still don't like doing certain tasks, right? What if, I've done all that, Lina, and, I still don't like doing certain things, but it's important to get done, right? Because I want to achieve my goal. So for that, you can try this, okay? Try to keep in mind what is the outcome that you will achieve instead, right? You don't want to do this task, but you know this task is important to get you to your goal. So what is your goal? What is your outcome that you want to produce? So when you focus on the outcome more, that thought will drive you to be more passionate with the task in hand. Now remember, don't focus on the task, because the task sucks. You don't want to do it. But the outcome is what you want. So focus on the outcome instead. This is very useful to me because, like I said, this is one of the things. There are some things I just don't like doing. I don't want to do it. But when I think about Lina, when you do this, this is the outcome. This is what you will achieve. This is what you will get. It automatically changes my mind to think that, yeah, I got to be doing this and I got to do a good job at it. So I become passionate about it. And here's another thing. Oftentimes, we don't tell others what we're passionate about, right? But you really should share it with other people. This is because the more we talk about it, the more excited we get, and that keeps our passion going, right? Like for myself, okay. When I talk about arts, my eyes lit up. I get so excited. And even as an artist, we do get tired. Sometimes I have to spend days or weeks to create a painting. I think one painting last time, I had to take one whole month to do just one painting because it was a big piece. So you will get tired, you will get, exhausted, even, when you're doing the things you love. This will happen to just anyone, right? But when I talk to people about what I love, about painting in general, right, I feel good about it. I feel excited, and it keeps my passion going. So talking to people about your passion is really very important. But to do this, right, you need to surround yourself with positive and encouraging people, right? You do not want to share it with just anyone, because I've come across many people in my life that they are not positive. They'll just like, you can't make it. This won't work. You do not want to surround yourself with that kind of people. There are always positive people around. So find friends who are positive, and surround yourself with them. It's always a good idea to share your thoughts with people who will be more supportive of you. And sometimes maybe they can even give you ideas, and like something like that. So it's really, really helpful. And then finally, I would say, listen to, read about, and even reach out to the people that inspire you. Okay. I really love reading. Okay. I love to listening to audiobooks, and of course when I get a chance speaking to the people who inspire me. Wow, that will be really something. And personally, this keeps my passion going strong, as well as motivate me to push forward in anything I do. So read books, listen to audios, listen to talks like this. You'll get inspired, you'll get motivated. And like, if you have friends, or maybe your lecturers, they inspire you, you talk to them. Because when we talk to this kind of people, we resonate with them, we feel inspired, and our passion just keeps going strong. And like I said earlier, okay, this is a very important exercise. So the more you practice it, the more you'll get familiar with it. All right. And putting things into practice or into action, okay, is the only way we can really get good at something. Because we can listen to talks, we can listen to all this wonderful session. Oh yeah, we feel motivated. But if you don't put it into action, you don't practice it, you you're not going to see anything. Trust me. I've done that before. I like to go for talks, listen to this and that. Oh, I get inspired, and then go back home, and then I don't do anything, and nothing happens in my life. So it's very important to, if you feel excited, you feel inspired, just do some of these things that I mentioned here. And I will tell you that you will feel the difference. You will see the difference in your life, right? Okay. Actually, I think I've been talking really fast. I hope that it's not too fast. So I hope you all got, the gist of it, what I was talking about. But we're almost reaching to the end of the session now. So I think I've got a little bit more time. So I would like to emphasize again, right? Okay, on these things, that when you do things with passion, okay, you will see changes in your life. Okay, now these changes, right, they might seem small at first. Okay, trust me. They might seem small, or sometimes you might even not notice it. It's like if you're exercising to lose weight. Okay, you do it for 1 month, you might even not see any difference, but the difference is there. It's just not noticeable. Okay, but it will get bigger and bigger over time. And you should really start to apply this concept even from school days or college days itself, because then you will be able to see faster achievements in your life. Okay, in your life, because that's what we want to have achievements in our life. And this is true for businesses as well. Sometimes we look at let's say we look at someone, or we read about some successful entrepreneur story, and we might feel that, oh, that person, he just got that success overnight, like because he was a nobody, we never heard of him before, and suddenly he's in the news, right? He's done this, he's achieved this, so he must have gotten success overnight. But that's really never the case. Okay, if you read about anyone, any successful entrepreneurs, Colonel Sanders, Steve Jobs, anyone, all right, most of these entrepreneurs, okay, would have gone through some serious hardships, right? Serious hardships, whereby having only by having, I won't say only, but the strong thing, right? Having a strong passion for what they do, that would probably be the drive for them to actually never quit until they reach their goal. So that should be the way we are too in our lives. All right. Do it with passion and, a strong drive until we reach the goal that we want. Okay. So I'm not too sure. I didn't keep track much of the time, but we have come to the end of the slide. All right. I don't know. I think we'll have some time for Q&A after this. I would like to say that I hope you have enjoyed the session, and I hope I didn't talk too fast because that turns, sometimes happens. And I really hope, okay, that you find this information useful, because as much as I have fun doing this talk, I really want this to resonate with you. I really hope that it resonate with you and it's something that you can use in your life right now. Okay? And with that said, I just want to say to everyone, start your entrepreneurship journey today with passion, and you will most probably attract the right people into your life and see more opportunities opening up around you. So thank you so much for listening in, and back over to you, Vashali.
An idea.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, madam, for giving us your valuable time.
thank you.
It was nice listening to your session today.
Thanks, and I hope
That
everyone
will
enjoyed.
obviously help our students and motivate them for entrepreneurship.
I hope so too. Yes.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Sometimes it happens that students want to start an startup, right? But there is no support from their family or friends, and they also think about society. So, in that situation, what is the right way uh, to comment on that thing for
Okay.
students?
That is a very good question, because when I first did my part-time job, right? I need to pay for my college fee. I think I was only 19, 20 or something like that, 21 maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, um, my whole family, nobody does business. Okay, my parents were both government servants, and the only thing I would have, you think it's easy to do business, you will fail. This and that, this and that. I heard everything, and then I just, you know what? You have to be strong for yourself. You, like, the questions you have to ask for yourself. Why do I need to do this? Like for me, I already had in my heart a long time ago that I always want to do my own business. So you don't have to answer other people. You just have to answer yourself. Why do I want to do this? Once you find your why, okay, parents might not be supportive, friends might not be supportive, but you have to be strong to do it first. And then when that happened to me, I told myself, I didn't say anything to my dad, he was really against it. And then I said to myself, it's okay, one day I will show one day I will show you that I can do it. Not like one day I will show you, not angry way. One day that I will show you I can do it, and I will make you proud of me. So I kept that in me. And when I was doing my business, I was actually making good money, okay, making more money than my parents. And then my dad was so, he was so proud of me. He was telling everyone, it was a small business, but oh, that's my daughter is doing that. So that made me feel good. So you have to be strong, you have to know your why, and you just, if your motivation is like you want to help your parents, you want to show them, you want them to be proud of you, and you will achieve it somehow. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So you should continue with your passion, right?
Yes, you should don't
Yes.
don't don't just let it die. It
Yes,
means
exactly.
something. It means something. Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes it happens that failures also demotivate the students as well as you, any human being. I'm not talking about students only, right? So, what advice you will give for that, ma'am?
Okay. Oh, failure, right? Let me
Because
tell you.
obviously, as a human being, we always think about society first and then ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. That will always never. Come on. Like if my hair looks bad, oh, I'm so scared to go out. It
Yes, yes,
happens. Okay.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. But okay, it's very hard to beat society. You can't beat them. It's very hard to say that it won't bug you. It still bugs me sometimes. But like I say, your passion is number one. Ask yourself why you're doing it. When you're feeling down, Lina, why am I doing this? Oh, I want to achieve that. So you push aside some of the negativity around you, right? Now, failure is something, this is my own experience. I have lost money until I couldn't pay the house bills. We had to sell things from the storeroom to pay the bills. Okay. It's not fun. I lost a few 100,000 even, like that's it. It's gone. I couldn't give money to my parents, couldn't help anyone, couldn't help myself. But I my husband asked me this thing because we're both doing business, right? He said to me, how do you stay positive? Because I said, no, one day we will get out of this. And then when he asked me that, because he's feeling down, I was feeling down too. Then I didn't know what to answer, and then I just said to him, I don't know, but maybe that's the only way to think that we will get out of it. Because once you lose that feeling that you won't get out of it, you will quit. And when you quit, you can get out of it, you can get jobs, you can pay your bills, but you will always feel like a failure. So it is not an easy thing to go through, because as an entrepreneur, now I understand that failure is part of success. So when you have failed, it's actually, oh, you must think, I've already gone through that journey, because failure is part of success. So all entrepreneurs will fail before they succeed. And sometimes they succeed, they fail, but they get up faster because they have gone through it before. So if you think about, like, okay, I fail, but never mind, because all entrepreneurs fail. Then only they succeed. It's not easy. It's not easy. But if you start reading about people, all the entrepreneurs who have failed and how bad they have failed and how they did it, you will feel, oh my God, I can't go through that. What I'm going through is not as bad as that. So if they can get through it, I can get through it too. So that's is a mind psychology. But stay around positive people. If you can be friends with business people, entrepreneurs, you will feel the support more, because they have gone through it. They know what it's like. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So I think reading two books and book on entrepreneurs and then listening to motivational speakers is much more helpful to them, right?
Yes, it is very, I still do it even till today. I need that. That is food for the soul.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, it helps us at any point of time.
At any
Because
point.
after success, also failure does happen.
Yes, yes. But once you fail very bad, you know that, hey, I survived through that. If my
Yes.
business go down, like in COVID, so many people's businesses go down. But it's how strong the mind is, that I can detour and I can do something else, or this will come out again. So now I do this. That's the planning. That's the entrepreneurship, entrepreneur mindset that we need to have, because it will happen in jobs. It will happen in business. It will happen anywhere. So if we have this in our mind, we know there's nothing we can't go through. There's really nothing. It's really hard, but we can get through it somehow. Yeah.
Yes.
Even but some people, they tell me, so what if I go bankrupt? Go bankrupt, only what? I can still after that make back my money. I even have people telling me that, and like, come on, Donald Trump went bankrupt, right? I think more than
Yes.
once. I'm not sure. Yeah. So he didn't care. So we don't want to get to the
That
extent, but
is not the end of any situation, right? You
but
should
look
move
at
on with
look
positive
at him
attitude.
now. Yes, look at him now. He's so happy. He still got money. He still enjoy life. It's not the end of the world. It's tough, but you can get out of it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your advice and giving us your valuable time. It will
Thank
obviously
you.
motivate our students as well as faculties to do a startup.
Yes, yes, do. Like, do something small. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. I just launched an ebook, right? It's something small. It's
Okay.
children's book. Something small, and we're selling it at 10 ringgit. I think it's $2.50 in USD. It's not big, but we've
Okay.
already raised few thousand. So you can do something small. You don't have to think of something big, but from there, you get opportunities will come. So I mean, like, I'm really so like, if anyone wants to be an entrepreneur, oh, if anyone wants to be an artist, oh, I'm so happy.
Okay. Right. Yes. That will
Yeah.
motivate you also to be think of another right path.
Yes, definitely. It will lead you to something else. You just got to believe it. It's true. It is true. It happened to me. Somebody who lost money, who didn't have connections, no money, went through all that. What? Who cares? You can do it.
Yes.
So yeah. So I
Yes.
hope I hear some good things from the college. Who
Yes.
knows? I'll be very happy about that.
Yes, ma'am. Obviously, we will communicate with you for that.
Sure thing.
Thank you
Sweet.
so much, ma'am, for joining with us
Thank
today.
you so
Yes.
much. Yes, it has
Yes.
been fun. Thank you again. All right.
Okay. I would like to thank the management of our university to support and motivate us for conducting such webinars. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining with us today. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.